Um, did you see any combat, any action?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
We were strictly, basically an outwarning post. The Russians and us at the time was sort of the Cold War, hot Cold War. And one of our planes, the Gary Powers, had been shot down over Russian territory. So there was a little bit of, problem with Russia. And beyond Kodiak, you all now on the Aleutian chain of islands. The last one was Adak. We had guys that are out there, but the Russians, if they decide to hit the United States, their plan was always to come down from Adak down to Kodiak and toward Washington and that. And so we was a base, a naval communication station, so we had a comm state, and we would be an outwarning post and deterring post in case the Russians ever hit.
So they would come to you guys first before they come to the
Before
actual
they get
U.S.
to the U.S. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we was hoping that never happened, and it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about your most memorable experiences
Well,
up in Kodiak.
boy, it's hard to remember. I guess probably going by, I was a bus driver on the base, and enjoyed that, and all kids around and different people and that, everyone on the base. Then when I got to be the head dispatcher of the motor pool, it was quite a responsibility, and I suppose that was my high point there. At Coronado, at the amphib base, really was no high point, I would say. It was just basically teaching these guys in the landing craft boats how to hit the beach and back off and so forth.
Okay. Were you awarded any medals or citations or?
A Medal of Good Conduct, a Congressional Medal of Good Conduct is called. That was the only medal that I was awarded. That's the only one that most of us got.
Okay.
Sometimes too. We wasn't in battle or anything, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What was the food like out in camp?
Boot camp food was good.
Yeah.
And the food up in Kodiak, Alaska was good. And at Coronado and Amphib Base, I never really had any complaints on the food in the Navy. Most time it was very good.
A lot of times I see a lot of those like meals where it's like in a bag. You guys.
Yeah, we did.
Did you guys make your food, or did you have like the?
We had chow hall, regular chow hall, just like any cafeteria would be. Called a chow hall, a cafeteria. And you went through a line, got your food, and sat at tables and that. And it was the better part was very good.
Just like a school lunch or something like that?
Yeah, just like a cafeteria, like you have, they call it chow hall. And then, yeah.
Okay. Do you have like any supplies or what was your personal stuff that you had?
What was what?
Your personal stuff, like like a stereo or radio or something?
No, really, you could have a radio. I had a radio up in Kodiak, Alaska, and at Coronado Amphib Base I didn't, because after I was there, I come home and got married. And went back out and lived off the base. So I didn't have any personal stuff that much then. Yeah.
Okay. Did you feel any pressure or stress while you're there?
Well, when I was up in Kodiak, you were concerned that the Russians might happen to decide to invade us, so wasn't scared, but you were very aware that it could happen and knew it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Do you have any something that was like good luck to you, like an item that kept you like gave you a safe feeling, like a good luck charm or something like that? Do you have anything that was close to you?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Okay. How do the people entertain themselves? What do you guys do in your spare time?
Oh, we played, we had baseball at the field, softball, and horseshoe pitching we had up in Kodiak. At Coronado, no, we had none of that. It was just, yeah.
Yeah.
In Kodiak, and we had a good team, a good softball and baseball team. I played center field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it pretty cold down there? I mean, you're outdoors and playing sports. Like, was the weather always cold?
The weather in Kodiak, Alaska, I never complained about Nebraska because it could be nice in the morning when you was eating chow.
Yeah.
By the time you got done to head back for your barracks, it could be blowing, windy, snowing, sleeting.
Yeah.
The weather could change quick.
It was just like Nebraska?
Worse than Nebraska.
Worse?
Much worse.
Oh.
Yeah. It changed. You're there where those winds come across, and you could be hooking the ice like now. An hour or two later, could be snowing, sort of sleet, and wind blowing. Wind blew a lot, much more than here.
Yeah.
Much more. Yeah.
What did you do when you left?
When did I what?
What did you do when you were on leave?
Well, I come home on leave after Kodiak, Alaska, come home, and I stayed with my mother at her place and just went out and had a good time. Had 10 days. The leave was supposed to have more, but I did get it extended. It was only supposed to be 10 days, but I got it extended so I could stay home for Christmas. And was able to be at home with my mother Christmas time, and left and went back to Coronado when I got assigned about the end of the year. It was getting close to New Year's. Yeah.
Okay. Where did you travel while you were in service?
Where did I travel? Nowhere really, other than when I was after I got married out in Coronado. We would go out on the weekends, go places and that when I wasn't on duty. He was on duty part of the time on weekends, other times he wasn't. So we'd go out, do whatever people normally do, just go out and have a good time.
Okay. Do you recall any particular humorous or an unusual event?
In the service?
Yeah.
Let's see, any unusual event? Boy, it's been enough years ago, so we have stopped to think. Oh, I do remember up in Kodiak when I was in motor pool head dispatcher, we had some officers that left the base and had not reported back. They were supposed to, so they had the Marines were the police up there, the Marines, and I and another fellow took 2 Marines to go out and search for these guys off the base. It was raining to be heck that night.
Yeah.
And we was running all over. I didn't know where I was going. The roads up there wasn't that to get off the base, it was just sort of makeshift roads. And we went up one hill, high one, we come up on top, and the ocean I knew was close by, and it's hard to tell with the wind blowing, the rain and everything. I finally said, I'm going to stop and see just exactly where we're at. We was about 30 to 50 feet. If we went farther, I would have went off into the ocean. Excuse me.
Oh, you're right.
Hello? Yeah. Let me get back to you. I'm running the interview here with the guy. I'll give you a buzz back soon. Thanks. Yeah, bye. Anyhow, the guy looked. I said, holy smokes, and this big, tall Marine guy, he's from the South somewhere. He said, what's the deal? And he walked up. Man, I said, get back in. We'll turn around and go back down. He said, you turn around first and get headed back down, then I'll get back in the Jeep. Yeah. He was very, very cautious. He didn't trust me, I guess. But that's about the main thing I remember.
Okay. Did you guys pull any pranks, or did you pull? What were some of the pranks that you would pull on others?
Oh, I'm trying to think. We did nothing really in particular. Oh, you might put some crackers in their bed sheets, some soda crackers, and, or take their sheets off, they call it. They'd have to get them and put them back on. They stretched over the mattress. Yeah. And that's about it, mainly. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any photographs of your experience?
No, I had a picture of my bus up there when I was driving the bus, and sent home to my mother, and I think I still got it around somewhere. But it was a picture of my bus with me and my foot on. I said, it's a good picture of my bus, not very good of me. And yeah, sent home.
What did you think of officers or your fellow soldiers?
My fellow soldiers, for the better part, very good about most of them. I found a lot of them were irresponsible, younger guys, and I had to be responsible because my dad died. I took over the farm. I was just turning 21 when I went in. But most of them were good guys. The officers, there were some good ones, some that you didn't respect all that much, but I had some that I respected very much. And when I left Kodiak, Alaska, the transportation officer, who was the head guy over the motor pool and the rest of the transportation, Striffler, Lieutenant Commander Striffler, and he come over. He knew it was going to be about my last day at the dispatcher, and he congratulated me and told me, he said, you know, you've been a pleasure to work with here. You've handled things real well, because for a while they tried to get someone else in and they goofed it up. They brought me back in, and he was a good man. He was an old Mustang, as they call him. He didn't go to the officers' Kansas school or anything. He'd come up the ranks on his own. He was lieutenant commander, which is pretty darn high. And I respected him very highly. Yeah.